Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly at tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we finally get to examine in depth one of my favorite new watches of 2021. This is the Patek Philippe 5520P-001 Alarm Travel Time from the Grand Complications Collection, 42.2 millimeters in platinum. That is the diameter against a thickness of only 11.7 millimeters. It is 50.7 millimeters from lug to lug and 21 millimeters between the lug. We'll zoom out a little bit, throw this large platinum travel time alarm on my wrist, and you can see it's already ducking underneath my cuff. It's a perfect fit. It's a big watch, make no mistake. You do need a wrist of at least 15 centimeters circumference to wear it because it's broad, and you can see that well from over the top. But you can see it does fit my wrist. It's super flat. You'll have no trouble fitting it underneath the cuff. And though technically it is a dress watch, it is a resolutely sporty one. Not explicitly described as a pilot or Calatrava pilot, Patek nevertheless acknowledges that this watch is in a pilot style case. And I think that's a great way to describe it. The watch has the same sort of contrasting stitch cross-hatched design that you find on the Calatrava pilots. You can see here it's a more subtle contrast between gray and black. We have a black calfskin strap. You can see it's sheer cut on the side, showing thick layers of leather. There's a more natural calfskin on the bottom. We have Patek's latest pull-tab spring bars for easy removal of the strap from the case. And we have the same style of clevis buckle that you find on the pilots. And you can see it too is in platinum. So this is very much a pilot in all but name. Taking a quick look, diamond between the lugs, one pusher adjuster. It is used if you wish to individually adjust the date without moving the hour hand. Now, you could see plus and minus on the side. We're going to unlock these and see how they lock in place, just like that. About a quarter of a turn, and you enable and disable the crown system that sets the travel time. Now, by enabling this locking function, it's not for water resistance, because water resistance here is 30 meters, but it is there so you don't accidentally change the time inadvertently. Now, if you look carefully, we'll get a little bit closer, you can see that we have separate home and local time day-night indicators, and most travel time watches don't give you the option to view both at the same time. Having an AM, PM for each one means you know whether it's day or night, where you are and where you are not. We have a lovely black matte granular dial. It's much like the Calatrava Pilot. We have white gold applique Arabic numerals with a slightly off-white, very faintly ecru coloration. It's not Fotina, but it's also not a sharp chalk white. You can appreciate the fact that we have broadsword style pilot-inspired hands, and if you don't want the second time zone, you can cover up that stub hand, and now the watch is just like a conventional three-hand watch. So we do have that little pointer date, we have center seconds, and note that the watch is currently hacked or stopped. This movement does feature hacking seconds. More on the movement and the functions in a moment. Let's take a look at the lume, because this watch has lots of it. As you can see, a sporty dress complication, leaving nothing to be desired at $2,750,000. That's about $274,000. You get a lot with your complication. Now, speaking of the complication, this one is an alarm, so let's hear it. Notice how I can activate and deactivate the system. Now, the watch has a minute repeater style striker, gong, and governor. So that limits the speed that it can ring and also creates a more musical chime. It really is co-equally with the UN Sonata, the minute repeater of alarm watches. Now, this trigger right here turns the alarm on or off, and you'll see a little aperture up at 12 o'clock that will let you know whether the alarm is on or off. Of course, you have these two locking crowns for the travel time system, and then you have a crown down at 4 o'clock. If you turn it in a clockwise direction when it's in its neutral position all the way in, what you do is you wind up the alarm, and if you turn it counterclockwise, you wind up the watch. Now, the watch can be wound manually or automatically. It's a unidirectional winder with ceramic rotor bearings for maximum efficiency. But if you wish to wind the 52-hour power reserve, you can do so by turning this crown counterclockwise. Now, in the intermediate position, I have the ability to set in 15-minute increments the alarm time, and the alarm time can be set in a 24-hour format. So you'll find that it's quite easy if you wish to set it in that fashion, and you could set it to any time of the day, and it's quite flexible in that regard. Now, the watch also has an outermost position where you have the ability to set the time, and you can see everything now moves in sync, and we've activated hacking seconds. So the watch has a couple of different subsidiary modes, and most of the functions are accessed through this crown down at 4 o'clock. Now, when you turn the watch over, the movement is impressive. First, because it's large and it fills the entire case back. We talked about some of the specs, but let's go through all of them, starting with the name AL30-660 SCFUS. That is an alphanumeric that describes the size of the movement, the thickness of the movement, and then all of its functions. It beats away at 4 hertz, or 8 beats per second. It has dual time with dual AM/PM indicator. It has the alarm. It is accurate to plus or minus, well, that is plus to minus 3 seconds per 24 hours. It's adjusted in 6 positions, free-sprung with a Gyromax-style balance assembly and an anti-magnetic Spiromax silicon hairspring that's also resistant to thermal variation in timing. It is a monstrously complicated movement, 574 parts and 52 individual pivot jewels, so a lot goes into this movement. It is no less complex than a minute repeater would be. Reach out to me, Tim Mosso, at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Patek Philippe 5520P travel time alarm. Well, hello there. I have one more detail just to show you exactly what I mean by setting the alarm in a 24-hour format. Take note that there is a little aperture below the alarm that lets you know whether you're looking at day and night. So you have home and local day-night indicators, but you also have one for the alarm, and you can see as we advance and that little aperture turns white, we are looking at day, and then as we move into night, it turns blue. So that's how you know whether you're looking at the first half of the day or the second half of the day. So this is into 6 in the evening, and that is why that little aperture changes its color. It does not have a 24-hour digital indicator, but it does have a day-night indicator for the digital indicator in a 12-hour format, and that is the key to setting this watch for AM or PM.